Hello guys, welcome to my tutorial channel. Today we are going to do a web design, and specifically this website is what you are going to do. As you can see, it's a complete web page with a lot of information which consists about us, our services, contact us. Here we have the about us section, patient reviews or testimonials, doctors list or specialists, medical services, and finally the footer. So this is what you're going to do. Let's get started. I'm going to open up my text editor, and I had previously loaded it with CDNs that we require to do this design efficiently, and it's basically the Bootstrap and a font family, and also carousel, which will help us to do the slider of the patient review. So you can see it's a slider, and also for qualified doctors, also that one is a slider. So without much ado, let's start by designing this top header. So I'm going to do nav, and this nav I'm going to have a div. It will have a class of contain. So this class is used by Bootstrap. We're also going to have a row, which is also a class used by Bootstrap. Row. I'm going to have a custom class header top. Also going to have a width which is 100. I'm going to say this is container, sorry, not contain. No, and now I'm going to do these menus, and I'm going to use an ordered list. So an ordered list, I'm going to make them full screen on medium devices, and also full screen on small devices, and full screen on extra small sizes device. I'm also going to give this an ordered list custom class, which is header top menu list. Also going to do justify content between. Also going to make it with 100 and 800. We shall now do the list that will be in this section, and we'll have the class of nav item, py2, and this py2 basically means the padding top and bottom, which is PY, Y meaning the y-axis, which is vertical. So top and bottom. So we are saying for every list you are going to have a padding top and bottom of 2 rem. So say display none. And this one will ensure when the screen is responsive to small devices, this list will be hidden. Otherwise we'll have a display like so. That's one. And have that one. Sorry. So that is it. And in this list you're going to have 2 sections, and that one is for 2 spaces for phone number and email. I'm going to have a link. In this list you're going to have an icon for phone. It is. You're also going to do, you're going now to give the phone number. We can just write a random number. There we go. Then we'll have the second link for email. I'm going to have an icon for email, for envelope. There we go. Now we are going to have our email come here at mail.com. So we'll also now have as the second list. Now this list, it's for these 2, the phone number and the email. The second list you're going to do, it will be for the social media icons and the button for book appointment. So how we do this list. Nav item, flex, going to have justify content, between, going to have a span, it will have margin top bottom, it should be auto. And then you're going to have another unordered list with a custom class for header top, social. You're going to have a list for this particular unordered list. The lists you're going to have links. So we'll do like this. We'll have 3 lists for this one. So I'm going to do times 3. Then inside those lists are going to have the links for the particular social media icons. So on this social media, we're going to have an icon for Instagram. This is actually font awesome. That's what I'm using to display my icons. I'm going to have Facebook, you are going to have Twitter. Now you're going to do book appointment button. Give it a class which is button flat, rounded, then a custom class book appointment. This one will be book appointment. So this one looks okay. Now we are going to run this one. Let me just run it here. Let's do what we are designing. So and as you can see, we have the lists, the phone number, email, and the book appointment. Now what you have to do, you'll have to design them using CSS. I'm going to create an external CSS file, call it index. I'm going to link it to this page. So you have CSS index. Design the background, the body of the page. Now the background color, will have it white. Font family, we are going to have it Poppins sans serif. I'm going to have the default font size for all the texts. I'm going to keep it at 8.87. Now so we're going to do a line height of 2. And what line height is, this is the distance between the texts. For example, this one, the difference between this first line and the second line, that's what line height does. So now we are going to have a link. We're going first to, I'm going to remove the underline as you hover on those links, as you can see. So I'm going to set text decoration to none, and this one will remove that underline on hover. I'm also going to change their color to a shade of black. Okay, so that's it. So I think this one I have to override it. Yeah, the reason why it didn't work previously is because this style is used somewhere on the Bootstrap. So for it to work, you have to override it, which means you have to make this more persistent than the design on the Bootstrap. Also going to do a little bit of changing some of the design from the Bootstrap library. So we're going to do a margin bottom of 0. By default, Bootstrap comes in with a margin bottom of these tags being not 0, so you might find it's around 4px or so forth, but for this design I need them to be 0. So also I'm going to do a container fluid, which will be padding 0. So this one I'm just redefining the design for the Bootstrap, just to change it a little bit. And now we can start with our nav tag, which is this one. So we're going to give it a border top, nav border top, this needs to be curly braces, border top 0.1 rem solid. So going to have a border bottom, one solid. Okay, so I'm going to have now to design this header top, this whole section. Going to do maybe probably padding, make it 0. Display, make it flex. Justify content, reduce space around, align items to the center, we do a margin auto. So I'm going to let's see okay, the border top and bottom are in order. So this one I'm going to make it flex start rather than at the center. And also now I'm going to design this unordered list. So we have this one. I'm going to design them at the same time. So I'm going to get that unordered list class, and also for this social media links. And first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this style type. I'm going to do list style type. I'm going to make it none. Display flex. I'm going to have the margin block start to 0. So I'm going to have a padding in 9. Start at 0.7. Flex direction. I'm going to have it as row, and margin auto. Flex direction row, what it basically does, it aligns this list in line, in one line. So you can see this one been aligned. Now let's now give this list spaces. So we're going to do social. We're going to have a margin right 1.5. To have it as margin right. Let's just push this a little bit further from the button, like that. Then we are going to have first child, so that one is this one list, first one here. I'm going to have it as color blue. So we're going to have 34 67 AF, which is blue. So next we are going to give a margin for this one. That looks okay. Now this is the first child of the list, which means from this list, from this unordered list, this first list, now we are going to make blue this one only. So this, the reason you are seeing this one and this one is blue, it's because we've said the first list of header top menu list, the link and the links are 2. So to differentiate and tell it the first one, we're also going to give this to be the first child also. So as you can see, so because here we've targeted only one link, I'm going to remove this margin left here and turn it there. So as you can see, we're also going to give the spaces to the social media link menu link. We're going to have a margin left, which will be 2.2. Also going to have the font size, which will be 1. So you can see, well, that looks okay. Now let's style this button. So I'm going to have the header top button. I'm going to have a background color of blue. The text color of white, and a bold border of none. Also a font size, you can have it as 0.87. There you go, this one. So now we are going to go to the second section, this one, which has the logo and the main menus. So at the bottom of the nav, I'm going to have a div which has container class and also a custom class of header, which will have a nav again, which will be a nav bar, navbar expand large, border 0, which means no borders. And now the first thing I'm going to do, we are going to put a navbar toggler button, and the toggler button basically it's, let me show you, when you make this web page responsive on smaller devices, the menu hides itself, but there's a button here to make it visible. For example, you see, so the toggler button, this is what you're talking about, this button. So that's the one we are going to include here. So it's a button with a class navbar toggler. It's a header button collapse nav. This one you'll have a text white. So far bars, give that one an icon. Then this is of type button, you'll have a data toggle. The data toggle, what it will do, it will collapse. You have a data target, which elements are being targeted. This one will be, let's call it navbar menu. Okay, over an area controls. So now the navbar menu. So area expanded. This one will be false. Area label. Area label. Go navigation. So this is actually designed by Bootstrap. So if you don't want to write a lot of these, you can just go to the Google and search navbar, Bootstrap navbar. You'll get just do a copy paste of this one. Now after that, I'm going to do the logo. So it's images, logo. So that's it. Now we're going to have the nav, the main nav. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do collapse nav per collapse, justify contented. Now we're going now to write the target ID here, which is this one. Now we will write the unordered list of the menu. Header bottom menu list, that's a custom class. Also we'll have the navbar, nav. Now we are going to just do that, and then you'll have a list. On that list we're going to have a link, and on this list we're going to have 4 lists. So I'm going to do times 4. On each list will have a link. So the first one is home, second one is about us, the third one is our services, the fourth one is contact us. So we'll go ahead and refresh this one. As you can see, it's a bit disorganized. Let's start that section, style that section. We'll start with this header class. I'm going to have the header not there, header bottom menu list, is style type which is none, margin block start which is 0, padding inline start which is 0 also, then you have a display flex and flex wrap, give it a wrap, align items, center. This will have a float which will be right. I don't think this one is necessary because you already have justify content flex end. Now we are going now to give the spaces to the individual list. Give it a 3. That's nice. Now we are going to resize that logo. I think that should have been the first thing, but it's okay. I'm going to have the logo and also the image itself. So this one will have a width of 11. Perfect. This one looks good. As you can see, this one looks okay. So what we're going to do now, we are going to do this first section for display. So we are going to have a section. First of all, we are going to have a wrapper div to be main wrapper. Now we are going to have the first section to be slider. Let me just call it like that, although it's to be a static. So you're going to have a div container. I'm going to have a div with class row. Margin top 2. Going to have a div should be column medium of 6, column large 6, column extra small 12. You have column small at 10. I'm going to have a padding top of 5 and also padding bottom of 5. Yeah, that's it. In this one we are going to have heading level 2. We can do something like urgent care plus what specialty clinic. Now we'll have a heading level 4 which will have reliable medical services where you can get treatment quickly. Okay, now we'll have the button. Style this button. Just have to hash it for now. Then have a class. It should be button primary. Have font weight of bold, which means the text inside this button will be bold. So semi-bold. X5, which means padding on x-axis So padding on y-axis of 2, have a border 0, which means it will have no border, rounded 0. So on Bootstrap 4, border 0 means removing borders, rounded 0 means removing border radius, the corner curving. We're going to remove them. So, and also going to have a margin top of 5. You can write something to say explore more, something like that. So as you can see, let's do this. There it is, but you can see it still needs some styling. So that's what we are going to do. So first of all, we are going to just we're going first to design that section. Going to give it a height of 30. Then you're going to give it a background image. So it's slide 1 to PG. Going to have a background position of center, and have a background size should be cover, means it will cover the whole section. Then you're going to have a background repeat, which means this image will repeat itself even if it hasn't covered the whole section. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to just take this image, very fast, put it, oh, it's here, BG2. So let's get to this one. I'll give it a BG2. So I want to see why background image. That's CSS. Oh, it's that way. I'd forgotten one front slash. So I'm also going to do so this one. Let's say we are going to decrease it a little bit to be 80%. So yeah, we are now going to design these texts also. So we are going to have them here. So I'm going to do resize that h1 dot h4 to make it font size 2.1. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I can do this to be a margin top 3. That's great. So the next section we are going to handle is these 3 cards. So this one will be just below this section, slider section. We'll have a section, we'll have a custom class of grid card, then another div which will have container, another div having a row, that order, then we have another div with columns, a column, small devices of 12, column, medium devices of 4. This one will have you have 3 grid columns. Also inside this one will have a div which will hold the card, rounded 0, border 0. I will go to card body, div to card body. We have a flex, have a line, items, center. We have just justify content between. Yes, that will work. This will have a flex column. Okay, so from this one now we'll have the image. Image will have a heading level 4, and you have a paragraph, and then we'll have a link. This link will have a course of text primary. Yeah, let's see. Okay, there's something that is broken. Let's check. So it will be a flex. So I think I'll just have to like this and rounded 0, border 0. Oh yeah, to have another class, so we can just try again. Great. So this one looks good. We can go and paste the icons for each card. This one will be blood test, and I can call it something like just say blood test. This one will be read more. We'll have an icon of plus. Sorry, so turn off plus. So we are going to just look for dummy text like this one to put on here. So this next section you are going to have images, something like first aid. Going to do first aid. Going to paste that one also, and to also say read more. Also have that icon. Also now going to have this one. You have images, ambulance. You're going to have emergency. You're going to paste this one. You're going to have read more. You're going to have a plus there also. So let's check. Whoa, okay, let's do some styling. So we'll have the green grid card. Have the background color should be white. Have a right 0, left 0, position have it at absolute. Let's just keep it padding 1, which means top and bottom, and padding of right left will be 0. We'll have the grid card container and grid card row. Okay, let's not just do that one. Let's do the grid card to make card, which means grid card. It's that one and this one and this one. So make them a background of white also. And margin top it's -7, position absolute, the box shadow have a 0, then 5 pixel, literally 0.1, rem or 0.2. 0.05. So 20, make it 1 rem. So this will be E9 A7 E7. Just have to override this one because the cards on the Bootstrap settings also has shadows. So I'm going to look at this one, do that. So we are going now to resize the image. The icons rather, grid card, image, have a width of 35, padding should be curly braces, not square brackets. One rim. Okay, as you can see, that one looks good. It's coming to shape. So I have a grid card for to have a color of black. How the grid card okay, and have it at text align. Center, grid card, heading level 4, and grid card link. Have a margin of 1, 0. Also font weight, be bold. So that one is good. Oh, where's it gone? Just gonna run it again. So yep, here you are. Just have to run this one again. So this one will be like 0.5. Let me just use the pixel here. 20. Okay. We continue. Grid guard. Just do a cross check on this one. Oh, don't need an inset. Sorry, don't need an inset there. So I was wondering where this paint is coming from. Oh yes, now that looks okay. Now from there we are going to do the about us section. So it will be the section, it will be about us, then we'll have a div with container, this container will have a about wrapper, have a div with container, div with row, then a div with column extra 12, column which is 6, this would be 2. So there you go. Now we'll have the about image, this will be about details. Inside this about details we are going to have a paragraph which will be about us, heading level 3 which will be about who we are, then we'll have paragraph which will have a font weight, bold, also padding top bottom of 2, I'm basically just going to copy paste the information that is here to save on some time. So we are going to do the paragraph again with that too, but now this one will be this one, because all of them are just dummy data. Now we'll have a div with a row, which will have a div with columns, column access for column medium device for column small device for, and also a flex. So flex column will have 3 of them, and 3 of them will have strong as a tag, strong. This one will have something like 21 plus. This one will be just something like active years, for example. Second one will hold strong. This one will be something like 33 plus. This one will have this one should be inside a label. Just remove that one. Specialists, the last one, have the strong, or like 100 plus say something like modern facilities. We'll also now continue with the paragraphs here. And finally, we are going to have an ordered list. I'm going to call this about list. It's going to have a list. This will be 4 of them. Check zero. So just going to copy paste this one. Check that one. Also going to check So let's see the progress. So this one needs a bit more of styling, so we head on to the CSS file. Our background color, which is white, then margin top. Color padding, it's padding for this one. 20. We are going to do the about wrapper. So that one will be images, background image, and have a video background one. I'm going to have a background repeat, no repeat. So as we preview this one, you can see, yeah, it's actually very nice. It still needs some so we go to about list. That one is basically the this list at the bottom of this section. Going to have a margin block start of 0, the start of 0, the padding. I'm also going to remove the style type to be none. I'm also going to do the column count, which will be 2, which means we are going to break this list into 2 columns, here and here. So if we reload this one, you can see we just divided that single list into 2 columns. We go to about details. Background color, which is white. We are going to do a background strong. So this one I'm going to do a font size 2.1. So I'm going to do strong and borders label. Going to have a color 8467EF blue. So as you can see, yeah, now that looks good. Progress is not that bad. As you can see, it is. As you can see, the original Yes, you can see. So let's continue with the next section. This one is the specialist list. So what you're going to do here, you're going to have another section. Don't want it like that. Section. Say specialists. PY. Top and bottom. It's 5. Margin top and bottom. That one will be 3. We have a div container. Have a div of row class. Let's have a div which will have a column. Small devices 12, column medium of 12 also. So there we are. Have the program and you see our specialists. Let's say our qualified doctors. Say doctors. Now here, that's where our cursor will come in. The list slider. We'll have a div to have our carousel dot all theme. Margin top of 3. Now here we are going to do div with text center. We'll have a link, text decoration none. Have an image, class image fluid, also will be rounded. We have strong, text weight, have it bold. We have text dark, have display block. We have a span, font weight, semi bold, display block, text default, and text uppercase. So if we do that, so under this image we are going to have the first we just have the random image for doctor. We had made a mistake here. Strong should be on its own. So I'm going to do a John Doe. So this one is what they do. This one is a therapist. So we're going to have another 5 or 6 other 6 categories. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this one to show you how this looks like. I'm just going to have a list of around 9 and around 9. So this one now will it will work well for the demo purpose. Okay, it's not showing up. That's because we have not yet initialized the carousel, so we'll have a JavaScript file to initialize that one. So here what I'm going to do, have a doctor list. Now I'm going to create a JavaScript file here. Sorry, not file, which will call it carousel.js. We are going to include it here. JS carousel. Have now to do document .ready function have a thumbs should be a thumbnail for doctor list. So you're going to say thumbnail dot on initialized dot r carousel. You have a function here when it's initialized. When it's initialized, you'll have to find our item. So just have to do it like this. Our item, which is equals to 0 position. You add a class of current. Our carousel have to initialize now the properties. So items, okay, we're going to have dots. You'll have it as false. I don't need false. I don't need dots for that list. Nav, we need that one. Smart speed maybe 200 or so. Slide speed 500. Slide by, or when you click the next button, it will be sliding by how many items. We'll say one, just one step. Then you have a nav text, which is basically the next and previous buttons. So we can just initialize them here. Class, we have a arrow left, rear hidden, so be true. Let's just duplicate that one, change that to right. Say responsive, and under responsive, zero, we are going to have items to 1. It's Android, you're going to have items 3. 1024, you're going to have items at 4. 1366, going to have items 6. So responsive, refresh rate, it's 100. So let's see if it will work. And yes, it worked. So as you can see, you can do like that. It's working well. Let's see. Yes. Okay, that one is looking okay. So after we deal with this one, we are going now to work on the testimonials. So we create a section for the testimonials. testimonials. Then we'll have a review wrapper div, review wrapper, have a div again for container, have a div again for row, now we'll have another div to have column 12, then column md7 py3, have this more testimonials. Can call this reviews. Have that one. Then we'll have a paragraph, which is array, div, which will be a carousel, a theme, top of 5. A div with text center, which will have be around 3. So test menus. This one will be patient's review. Oh, yes, and let's trap here. We'll give it just a dummy text. And it's far quote left to have a text color primary. Then we'll have we'll have that information. Just insert a dummy text. Now just have to copy paste this one and the other 2 slides. Okay, so next what you're going to do, you're going to let's first see how it looks like. Okay, there's the text but no background image. so you can see the original one as an image. So let's first insert this image, then we initialize the carousel slider. So we just have to do review wrapper, background image, images, and you have a background of 3. Background repeat, no repeat, background position, to be on the right side, and you have a minimum height of 22. Then I'll have testimonials, background color, and have white, minimum height to be 22. Sorry, this one should be background 1. Okay, as you can see, now let's initialize the slider. So we come back here, we do initialize here a variable, call it testimonials, should be testimonials, okay, there we go. Now we'll have to initialize it here, just like this one. So just have to copy paste this one, don't have to redo the code. It is. Then we'll have to also redo this part. But you'll have to get rid of this responsiveness, all of it. Now you have to put items, it will be 1, select by 1, that's okay. You have to add loop, it should be true. So let's see. Let's check. Oh, you haven't initialized this, sorry. This one here, it should be here. Yes, So let's do this again. Okay, it's misbehaving. Let's check what's wrong. This one we are going to have y5 y3. Then you have a 12 and 7. So this one should not be there. This one should be here. Let's see again. Perfect. So as you can see, now this one loop true, which means it loops infinitely. Okay, that's wow. Our website looks good, looks attractive. So let's just continue and finish up the remaining sections. So we have the services section. So that's what you're going to work on here. So we have the section services, have a div, have container, have a div for row, so here we are. So div row container will have a margin top bottom of 3, when before we do the row, we'll have a paragraph with text left, class and text white, class, and also have a h heading 3, level 3, and then have a class of text white. Then from there we are going to have the row. We'll have margin top bottom of 3. Now we have a div. It says we'll have a 4, 12, and we will have a 3. Have a div for card, crowded 0, border 0, card body, and have a flex, line item center, justify content between text column. We are going to have an image plus heading level 4 plus paragraph plus a link which has a class of text primary. Let's see. So what we'll do to be this and this text white. No, this one now will be plus now these cards will be, no, these ones, they will be 4. So we'll have 4 of them. So there we go. What have we done? Section card rounded 0, border 0. So I have a primary here. So there's something wrong with the H3. Go to container of the P. Oh, it's a P and then this one will be a plus here. It's a row. Yep, that's a row. Why am I going to do like that? Okay, that's good. So this one is departments. Departments. We're also going to have heading our medical services. So going to have the images. Images are going to have, I'm going to have pediatrics. I'm going to fix random text. I'm also going to do read more for plus. Yeah, so we have the images. Maybe surgery room. This one will be surgical. Random text. Read more button. So it's going to be prescriptions. random text, read more, icon, mental health. So there you go, and we have read more. Now let's check and see. It's a little bit of styling, as you can see. So I think that's it's a very long sentence. Just make it as short, then we move on. Services, go to styling, okay, we continue. Give it a width, paragraphs, give it a text align to be center, for, and also give it a margin 1.0, font weight, our font weight of bold, for heading. Number 4, we'll have a font size 1.4. Let's check the progress. Well, now that looks good. Very nice indeed. Very nice. So that website is taking shape. So the next section we're going to do is this one, the 3 columns. So we're going to come here, create another section. Call it footer grid. This will be container fluid. We'll have the div row. Then we'll have the 3 sections. It's 12 in column, medium it's 4. Is each 4. Just font weight, bold, also text white. Also have a paragraph, text white also. This 4 will be 3 of them. This one will be 3. Yep, so we'll have those ones. So let's see. Emergency cases. Just do a dummy text. The second one is doctors. Timetable. So do a dummy text. The final one is feeders on map. So that one I give a dummy text. So let's see how it will be. Okay, they all have a text white. Let's just tell them. We have a footer grid. It's 100. And have an overflow X to be hidden. So footer grid container. So now we'll have the footer grid row div. You have a padding 1, 1, 1, 2. So footer grid, row div, have an nth child of 1, have a background color, of dark blue. I think it's dark blue. I'll also have just duplicate this 2 more times, and child of 2, that one is the middle column, so I have 060 C23. I think I'll also retain that one for that. I can see this one is 3, which means this final column, as you can see, it's looking okay. Now we get to the last step of the last section of footer. So I'm going to do a section footer. This one you're going to have a padding top bottom of padding top of 5, and an ID of footer. Then you'll have a div with a class of container, have another div of class row, going to have another div the class and it will be a 3 to bottom 5. This will be a 3. So this one will have a link. This will be a logo class. Also it will have an image. So I'm going to do the image /logo. Is this one here? Sorry, I click this one. There you go. Now we have the another div top column MD of 3 also. This one will have a heading label 4, font weight will be bold, text will be white, it will be an uppercase text. Now we have an ordered list. If you have lists, which will be about 3. Inside those lists, we'll have a label, and text. uppercase, text, default. It will also have a paragraph with text white. So there we go. Get in touch. Have a phone, so you just have to say toll free. This one we just have to guess a number. You have the email. Then we'll have working days / hours. Have Monday, Friday, 9 AM to 8 PM. 9 AM to 8 PM. Friday. Yes. Also have another div it will also have a this one will be medical services. Okay, pediatric. We'll have more technology. We'll have surgical. We'll have nutritional, have dental care. Okay, so I think something is broken here. This should be wrapped up on paragraph. There we go. You can just remove that one. Now we'll have the last div here. To have a column to H4, which still has font weight, bold, text white, text uppercase, list and ordered list, paragraph with text white. Actually this should be the array lists. Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Have Saturday closed. Sunday closed. Another div, another row. Copyright. Of 2021. We made a web. All rights reserved. So we are done with the HTML part of it. Now we need just to design this section and then we are done. So let's just go to the footer, here's the label, color, have a margin bottom of 0, have a text white, give it a color 777. Also have footage 4, which have a margin bottom of 0.7. Also have a footer, an ordered list, is style type none, have margin block start, which is 0, padding inline start, which is also 0. Now we have the filter list. We have a margin bottom 0.8. It is, and also now you have the copyright. You have a bold at top, should be 0.1. Solid, that one. Let's check. Okay, that one looks good, but you can see this one is not well styled. Let me check. So there's an error here also, so to correct it. Let's see now. Yes, but still we don't have the here we have working hours as the title. Now there, so this is so great. We are almost done. So as you can see, this is a very nice design. So I want to check on responsiveness, see if there's something that need to be done. Okay, most of the parts looks good. Definitely don't looks good. I'll just have to do something small, just a little touch, but as you can see, it's very responsive. It's very well readable on mobile phones. So I just have to create a new file here called responsive.css. I'll have now to link it here. So you have media, maximum width, you have 767 pixel. So you have the header, top, social, with the margin right to be 1. So I'll also have an about. Let me check. So this section, this one, it was about us class, about list. Actually the about list, it's this one here. Have a column count of 1. have the card. That one is grid card. You can have a position of relative in the grid card. It's these ones. See, as you can see on responsiveness, it's only showing one card. You need to show it all of them, and that's what it's gonna show. And also about us, which is this one. Let's first see what the difference is. And have to about us of padding top 3, header top, button, size will be 0.7, and this will be grid card. Let's see. As you can see now, it's showing the entire cards. So this one, okay, this one looks good. So as you can see, that's the website. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below.